All right, thanks, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Just a short time ago, smoke from the pyrotechnics filled the dome as the Colts made their way out of the locker room. We're set for football as the Colts get set to match up with the Denver Broncos. Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Mike 51. It's going to be a long day. It's going to be a long day. Kill.
Here's the second-year back out of NC State, Nyheim Hines. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second. It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle, setting a tone early for his defense.
Come on, 40. Come on, D. Ready.
On 2nd and 15 now. Luck. He'll find Hines out of the backfield. Give him 9 on the play, and that's going to bring up a third down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are. You know, make him make someone miss in the open field.
12. 4-7's the mic. 4-7's the mic.
From the gun on third down, Luck looks to throw, fires right side, and that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. To punt on 4th down, here's Rigoberto Sanchez. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away.
The Broncos take over 1st and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
Flacco going to bring up the Broncos 1st and 10 at their own 18. Now the young man who was a Pro Bowler as an undrafted rookie, it's Phillip Lindsay. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
On 2nd down, a run with Lindsay. And he'll be taken down well behind the line, and I think he might have just given those 4 yards right back. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down. For the Colts, an extra defensive back in there now on 3rd down. Flacco from the gun. And he finds Hamilton. That's complete. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Give him 14 yards there and a Denver 1st down. Hamilton, the 4th-round pick, had a very productive career at Penn State where he was teammates with Saquon Barkley. And the tandem of he and Cortland Sutton brings some solid youth to that Bronco receivers room. And now the 24-year-old Hamilton hoping to build on what was a 30-catch campaign from a season ago as a rookie. Now a man open down the middle of the field. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. And that goes for a gain of 31. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. This is Royce Freeman, second-year man from Oregon. And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And it'll be a 2nd and long.
20. Let's get it.
Flacco on the give to Lindsey. He'll get 2 yards back, but it's going to leave him with a long 3rd and 13.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. Red.
3rd and long for Joe Flacco. He's got a man. It's Sutton. That's complete. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another 1st down at the Colts 18. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this. And, hey, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want to offer mine. Well, you were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Let's bring it.
To throw again on 2nd down. Flacco over the middle. He's got Deshaun Hamilton. And he'll get 7 yards from the 17 to the 10 before he's taken down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
You absolutely have to have this early on, right? 3rd and short, they elect to throw for it, and that's normal NFL football. They're going to throw on 3rd and short, but you've got to hit it, don't you?
Yeah, in the first quarter, like you said, to set the tone, can't connect there. And McManus able to put it through. Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust.
And the Broncos get there and take him down. Von Miller in there for the sack, and it's an important one from a personal standpoint, as that is sack number 100 in what has certainly been a terrific career to this point. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Von Miller able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. 2nd quarter now from Indianapolis with the homestanding Colts in possession, as they've got it with a 3rd down and long coming up. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
He'll rifle this one deep right side and unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
The The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Now it's Lindsey. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Under pressure, and Flacco's going to be dropped. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Now following the sack, they'll come up here on a 2nd down and 12. Passing play, Flacco. And the pressure gets to him again. Give the sack to Kamoko Toure. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Well, we quit counting yardage on that one, didn't we? That was truly 3rd and a mile, wasn't it?
It was. I thought they might just go underneath, but they didn't. They wanted to get the first down there.
Yeah, they tried to pick up the huge chunk unsuccessfully. I'm with you. I would have tried to take some yardage just to gain some field position.
So dangerous with a football in his hands. Call that a return of 38. And the Colts are set up well as they take over 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. They'll run on 1st down. Hines. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys to continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them. So some quick passes could work as well.
On 1st down, it's Hines. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man.
Get the ball. Check 3, check 3. Jim.
On 2nd down, it's Hines. And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
I'm going back to you. Under crunch.
They'll run with a former Ole Miss Rebel, Jordan Wilkins. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down. 2nd quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
Vinatieri, the NFL's oldest active player, also the league's all-time leading scorer, past Morton Anderson last year.
Yeah, he turned 46 in December of 2018. You really can't see it in his leg. Maybe in the beard.
You can see it in the beard.
Maybe in the beard. That's about it. But as long as he's booting them the way he's booting them, keep going, big guy.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. He's going to let this one go deep, and that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Setting up to throw, Flacco. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. He's picked off just shy of midfield, and he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
He talked a lot about erasing that. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Von Miller giving him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. From the 50, it's long. Over the middle, complete. That's Hines. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
Now Locke. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Von Miller able to record his 5th sack of the season.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
So we've reached halftime in a low-scoring affair, just a pair of field goals. 3-3 is our score. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime. Well, why don't we hold off on the halftime update after all? Seems like everyone's ready to go here for the second half in Week 8 in the NFL. Second half ready to roll. 2 field goals, the combined output in half number 1. Could be first touchdown wins. This one fielded at the 5. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. On the NFL scoreboard, an update from Foxborough. And it's the Browns out to the early advantage. And we'll keep you abreast of how that one shakes out. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up.
At the 26-yard line.
2nd and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. Here's Flacco. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Lindsey. It's an 8-yard pickup, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
Switch up.
Third down, Flacco from the gun. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Sutton. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
Flacco now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10. They toss to Freeman. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. That really sets him back, a loss of 6.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
That's the way.
Throw left side, it's reeled in by Hamilton. A gain there of 21 yards.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there were very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. They'll run here with Lindsey. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. To say they've kept him under wraps running the football, that's an understatement. He's been completely neutralized.
Yeah, they've essentially taken him out of the game, haven't they? And you know, all the teams say, we're not going to let him beat us. Well, that's exactly what's happened here. They've lived up to that.
And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. A field goal would get them the lead, but that's not what they're shooting for as they come up on 3rd down. Here's Freeman. But he will have the first down before he's tackled at the 12. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
I know the game's changed. A lot of people would say it's evolved. Look, I'm a little bit Neanderthal, okay? I love this. No exotic formations, no misdirection. Just line up and run the darn ball, pick up the first down. I love it.
Yeah, 3rd and short, that's what you're supposed to do. Like you said, old school, smash mouth football. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But, boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. Another run by Lindsey. And a pickup of about 4 down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Number 53. Mike 53. It's our field. It's our field. Hey, it's our house.
3rd down. Flacco needs a decent chunk of yardage. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down. Another good drive, Charles, but it looks like another that might end in a field goal try.
They've made some nice plays. They've given themselves opportunities, but as you noted, another field goal attempt coming up. And that's not how they want to end drives. They've got to figure out what's the final touch that they need to push it across the goal line.
Yeah, still yet to find the end zone. The kick by McManus is good. And they will take the lead here in this battle of field goals at 6-3. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out? That just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
And they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the third quarter. All they have so far, the field goal. Exactly 50 yards on that last play as they just go from 125 to the other for first and 10. Out of the gun, Love. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. That one goes for 24 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
Brings up second and goal at the 4-yard line.
From back at the 4, here's second and goal. They run again with Hines. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
Lost a yard. It's now third and goal.
So a little extra time to ponder this third and goal as we played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. They've been stuffed twice here for losses. Now it's third and goal. Here's Lott. That is caught at the 7-yard line. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. A terrific job there to keep him out of the end zone. And now it'll be fourth and goal. So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. Vinatieri's kick is good. And in the fourth quarter, this game is tied. So with less than a minute gone by here in this fourth quarter, the field goal there gets this thing back to even.
And it's setting up for a fantastic finish, isn't it, partner? It's been a well-played game, a hard-hitting game. The fans are into it. The announcers are into it. This is going to be a great fourth quarter.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it first and 10. The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
After the sack, it's second and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Flacco looks to throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Operating out of the gun, Flacco. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on third down. Thought they were going to force a fourth down. Instead, P.I. gives them the first.
And that's frustrating because you think you've taken them really deep into the count, haven't you? Instead, you've got to start all over. That can really, really be demoralizing.
We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on first and 10. From gun. Flacco over the middle, complete. That's Hamilton. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last two plays. Flacco now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Now it's Flacco. Screen pass to Lindsey. He's got a first down and much more inside the 20. 23 yards on the play.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield, a really nice pickup.
On 1st and 10, it's Lindsey. Another strong gain on the last two plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
When you look at the geography we're staring at, this part of the field, don't you always think of big backs carrying the football, bruisers trying to pound it in? Instead, look at a little more of a scat back type, and he's trying to make it happen.
Yeah, they went with the elusive, slippery guy. Couldn't get in there, though. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Denver. Joe Flacco. His 9th touchdown of the season. And they are able to break the tie and move out in front here in this 4th quarter. Extra point from McManus is good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Andrew Luck, 3 fourth-quarter comebacks a season ago when he was comeback player of the year, and he needs another one right now if he wants a Colts victory. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Luck. And, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down.
What a catch and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them,
They get that little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places.
And the Broncos get there and take him down. Bradley Chubb able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Luck throwing on target to Campbell. A nice pickup there, 19 yards. And they're set up better for 3rd.
It's a gain of 19.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about it.
Under pressure, and down he goes. Luck is sacked. Von Miller in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he's on to punt for Indianapolis. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They'll go again with Lindsey. And a short 3-yard pickup gets him up to the 15. And now this defense trying to use the clock to their advantage. They'll take the timeout here with 2:08 left. And then they'll have another stop coming up at the 2-minute warning. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Here's Flacco. He'll find Sutton on the right side, complete. And he'll be out of bounds near the 30. In fact, right on the 30. He has a first down, and that catch will also put him over 100 yards receiving now on the afternoon. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Flacco leaves to Lindsey on the draw.
Oh, yeah!
So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. Left side here to Sanders. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game. The Broncos on 3rd down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. To pass, Flacco. And that is incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. And he'll be out of bounds near the 30. In fact, right on the 30. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
I don't know that those medium 5-ish yard gains are going to do it right now. Probably should have dropped it, right?
Yeah, that way you save more time on the clock. But I know receivers, they think they can catch it and break a tackle and turn it into a big game.
They'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. The Colts on 3rd down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3.
11 feet. 51.
Luck now to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
Back to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
I can't believe they let you play. I can't believe they even let you play.
They go down to a knee and a sigh of relief as they are into the win column for the first time this year.
I don't know about you, partner, but watching them take the knee there and finish this one off, I feel like I'm going to be sore tomorrow. This was one bruising affair. Low scoring, but my kind of football.
Not a work of art, but maybe in your world, a little bit of a work of art. You like the defensive side.
I thought it was pretty. I can't help myself. I thought it was pretty.
And it ends in a kneel down as the clock rolls down to zeros. So this one will wind up a Denver victory, and it was their defense that led the way, allowing just 3 points, that lone field goal in the entire second half.
And remember the old adage, offense sells tickets. Defense does what?
Wins championships.
And in this game, maybe a championship wasn't won, but a game was by the defense, right? Held them in just a field goal. That's a heck of a job. I mean, when they went out there with that determination and a pretty good game plan, pretty good idea of what they wanted to accomplish, just love the execution, love the tenacity, love the way they finished.
So for the Broncos, they finally taste victory for the first time after 7 straight defeats. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Indianapolis, things are definitely going south quickly as they fall now to 1-6. And they'll try to rebound next week as they head to Heinz Field to take on the Steelers. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.